What up, what up, what up? God, I'm happy to be here. Fuck yeah, I'm happy to be here. You know, I never thought I'd be this happy without taking a fifth of Jameson in the face, to be honest. I don't drink anymore, and I never thought I'd be happy again after that happened. I was always miserable, and then I went to rehab, and I met all these alcoholics in these meetings that were always so happy. Like, oh my God, we're so happy. Oh my God, how's your day going? Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing really great. And I could never understand why they were so happy, and then I realized their trick, and now I do it, and now I'm happy all the time. I just realized all I have to do is lower the bar, okay? So I realized that what's normal for you guys is like fucking amazing for me. I've had an incredible day today. You guys want to hear about my day? I had an incredible fucking day. Today I woke up in the morning. I was not covered, I did not have an ounce of blood or urine on me, my own. Or anyone else's. I was in my own bed, not even a little bit handcuffed. You know, I had breakfast, kept it down. Oh, it's great to have breakfast and not yak it up. And I had, you know, plenty of money in my pocket, which was amazing. I didn't have to buy anyone Plan B the next day. That was awesome. And I got exactly 0 texts from people being like, we need to talk. I definitely got like a perspective change. I got a real perspective change when I went to rehab. They had ways of conditioning you to like realize that you're a piece of shit and that you need to change your ways. This is like a typical loaded question they'll ask you. They'll be like, Phil, why don't you take us through your first, take us through the week before you got to rehab. You want to tell us about that? Basically, they're going to try to get you to admit that your life was shit. So if you go to one person, it's like, yeah, I was kicked out of my house, my wife left me. Another person, it's like, yeah, I went to jail. Another person's like, yeah, I OD'd, it was terrible, I was on the streets. And got to me, I was like, yeah, I was thrown out of school, it sucked. And then it got to this, my favorite kid in the rehab, he just didn't get it. His name was Chris. And this kid, Chris, it gets to him and he just goes, he's like this scrawny white kid from Seattle, and he just goes, yeah, my life was pretty sweet before I got here. It's fucking sweet. It's fucking living it up, dog. It was hella sweet. And they're like, Chris, can you like elaborate on that? He's like, yeah, I had a fucking threesome week before I got here, dog. And the person was like, oh, okay, but like, how were you like emotionally? Like on an emotional level? And he didn't understand, like he thought that answered the question. He's like, I had a fucking threesome. It was like, yeah, but on like an existential level, like how are you doing? He was like, there were like 2 girls in my bed. I fucked both of them simultaneously. And it's like, no, but like spiritually, like how are you doing? He was like, there were 4 sets of titties. There were 4 titties in my face. I only had 2 hands. I had to rotate. It was fucking amazing. One girl had a 3rd nipple. It was like 5 nipples in total. It was fucking amazing. And like, all right, so we moved on, and the best part is at the end he goes, hey dog, it only cost me like $80 though. Yeah, you know, I'm glad I went to rehab because it was either rehab or jail, so I was like, rehab, yeah, I'll do that one. And, because I don't think I would do that well in jail, prison, and, but, you know, my friends, when they found out that I almost went to prison, they said some, like, fucked up shit to me, you know? They said the same thing that everyone says to every guy before he goes to prison. What's the one thing people say? Cops say it, they say it on television to the perps. What's the one thing they fucking say to a guy before they send him away? Don't drop the soap, right? That is the worst piece of advice you could ever give a man before he goes to prison. Think about all the things you could tell a guy before he goes to prison. You could be like, hey, why don't you get your GED while you're in there, huh? Rehabilitate yourself. Or, hey, why don't you go to AA meetings, kick your habit, read some books. Or hey, why don't you appeal to your congressman for clemency? Work on your appeal. No, what do they say? Don't drop the soap? That's what they say? And that's not even good advice. That's the shittiest advice ever. Like, just because you keep your hands on the soap, nothing's gonna happen to you? What? Is that like, really? Can you imagine a big tatted up guy in prison being like, oh yeah, I really want a piece of that guy, but he has just got a death grip on that soap. I have absolutely no recourse here. You know, prison code of honor. You gotta wait till he drops the soap. My hands are tied here. It's stupid as shit. Anyway. Oh, he's not even using soap. That's not hygiene. He brought a loofah? What? Fuck that. Yeah, but so I'm so glad that you know, I got a really good. I'm feeling good. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say is I'm feeling really fucking good. I recently dodged a herpes bullet. No joke. Oh, am I out of the light? I don't know. Can't handle this. All right, now you can see me. Yeah, I dodged a herpes bullet. Basically, I don't have herpes. Okay. I swear to fuck God. My ex-girlfriend called me and she's like, I don't know how to put this, so I'm just gonna say it. You gave me herpes, go fuck yourself. I fucking hate you, burn in hell. And I freaked the fuck out because I had always been scared of herpes since I went to the doctor that summer, and he was just like, yeah, so I told him my sexual history. He was the worst doctor ever. My parents had found like a free doctor. They're like, he's free, he's amazing. So they sent me to this free doctor, and he was fucking terrible. And he's just like, I told him my sexual history. He's like, yeah, you should get tested for everything. And I was like, and what sucked about this, my ex-girlfriend, is she had fucked other guys, but when the doctor told her she had herpes, she was like, Matt, definitely Matt. And I was the first fucking guy she called. So the doctor's like, yeah, so I was like checking chlamydia, HIV, and then I get to herpes, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have that. And then he goes, no, you should put herpes, seriously. And I was like, well, I didn't really know much about herpes. I was like, well, what happens if I have herpes? Like, what happens if it comes out positive? He's like, nothing, you just know. And I was like, well, what do I do? He's like, nothing, you just have it now. And I'm like, well, what do I do after that? He's like, you gotta tell every partner that you have it. And I'm like, well, who's gonna have sex with me if I have it? He's like, not a lot of people. And so I filled it out, whatever, and he calls me back a week later. He's like, Matt, I got some great news, bro. I'm looking at your results. All negative. All negative. I was like, sick, dude, can we go over each one? He's like, you're all negative. I don't know what you're talking about. So I was like, okay. So he hangs up, and then I get this call from this girl, and I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. So I call the doctor back. And I go, listen, dog, this girl says I gave her herpes, so like, can we just go over that test real quick? And he's like, yeah, sure, yeah, totally, I got you, yeah, totally, I can do that, yeah. So he's like, I got your test results right here. Chlamydia, negative, HIV, negative, gonorrhea, negative, syphilis, negative, yeah, you're all good. I was like, well, what about herpes? He was like, no, I didn't test you for that. And I was like, what? Dude, it was your fucking idea to test me for herpes. And literally, this was the noise that he made. It was the least professional noise I've ever heard. This is a doctor. He made this noise when I told him that it was his idea to test me for herpes. What? No! Shut up! What? And this was like, he's like, I do not remember that conversation. I'm like, oh, that means it didn't happen, because you don't fucking remember? You talk about 1,000 penises a day. I talk about one penis. I think I fucking remember. He's like, look, I didn't test you. So I went and got tested. Turns out I didn't have it, and she didn't have it either. It was a false alarm, but it got me thinking. Like, herpes is fucking terrible, because it's like, other than like a disease that can fucking kill you, like, it's the worst disease because there's no cure for it. You have it for life, and the only real side effect is that no one wants to fuck you anymore. And there's like no one pities someone with herpes. Like, people judge you instantly. No one's just like, oh my God, you have herpes. You're so brave. You're so brave. I can't just admire your strength. No one gives it. You know they'd have a cure for it tomorrow if anyone gave a shit about it. Like, when is the last time you got a benefit for herpes? Like, let's be real. If they did a bake sale, would you eat a herpes cupcake? Got a herpes cupcake. Anybody want to get that shit the fuck away from me? I do not want a herpes cupcake. Back the fuck up. Wow. Just like fucking Mason and fucking people with the herpes cupcake. And like, you know, there's no benefits. What was the last, like, you don't think they do relays for herpes? No one's ever like, yeah, I walked 12 miles for herpes. I feel really good about it. I feel really incredible. Thanks so much, you guys. You guys have been great. Alright, this next guy is the Mac Daddy of them all. He started Comedy Normative from the ground up. Should we give a nice warm welcome to Mr. Dan Sullivan?